Hello, everyone. Welcome back to video 5 in this emotional revolution. Bonnie and I are giving just incredible tips and stories about the 5 joy thieves that we are focusing on for our Triple Your Joy challenge. There are actually 9 of them. We're going to get really specific and share with you the secrets to reclaiming your joy, living a life that is filled with purpose, passion, and your power that's all fueled by joy. And Bonnie, I know you've got a good story for this final little secret that we have here. She just said, "Oh, I've got it." Like it sunk in. I'm like, "Yeah, girl, we're pressing record and here we go." So
I love it. I love it. So before we jump into that, Jillian did left a little breadcrumb, right? So she talked about the 9 joy thieves, right? And the solutions. So this 5-day Triple Your Joy challenge is extremely impactful, and it's going to triple your joy right here, right now.
immediately.
And to get lasting results does take a little bit longer than 5 days, right? I'm sure anybody who's watching this knows that. Like this, you can repeat over and over again. You can just boost your joy anytime you need it. But for lasting change, that requires us to really kind of make that shift in the way that we believe and perceive and in the way that we behave. And so following our 5-day Triple Your Joy challenge, we do have the 6-week masterclass, which is Awaken Your Joy. You're going to hear more about that later. It's not something we're going to dive into today, but that's where we really are going to dive into expanding on all 9 of the big joy thieves that boil down to perceptions and behaviors and how to be able to eliminate those so you can have lasting change. But if you're looking to just triple that joy, like you need an inject, right? Like a booster shot of some joy right now. Like that's what this is all about, is that we're going to give you the 5 simple ways to just to elevate your joy and begin to make joy a standard in your daily life. So I love that she said, "Bonnie, take this one away," because this is one of my favorites. I keep saying that. I've said that, I think, on all the videos.
I know, but you know what? It's so powerful and we're so multifaceted, right? And we get to reclaim joy and bring it in from all these different areas. And guess what? That's what helps make us whole. It's not just looking at joy as one linear thing and like, okay, I'm getting the hit over here, I'm good. It's like, no, we have the opportunity to bring joy in from so many different areas. And heck yes, they're all your favorite, because heck yes, joy feels amazing no matter what area it comes from.
And if you guys know my story, right, I've got that victim to victory story, right? I've got that extreme, like, holy crap, she came from like living in a tent, to the woman that she is today kind of story. And this is probably one of those big ones that I struggled with that kept robbing me of my joy for a really long time. And that's why I resonate with all of them, because I had to work on all of these, right?
Totally.
But this failure to invest in yourself, right? And so the real problem is that we will neglect our needs, wants, and desires and tend to put everyone else up, right? So we're people. So this last one for me, that inability to invest in my personal development, my personal joy, my dreams, ambitions, and desires really stemmed from not only that expectation, but also from that secret number 4, where I was sucked into the lack of I don't have enough. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough resources. If you watched, I believe it was video number 2, I talked about where I was living in a motorhome, right? Like I was working dead-end job. My bills weighed out more than my actual income did. So I really did have these other joy thieves that were plaguing me. And so I had to do these other secrets, to really get to this space where I could actually invest in myself. And that is going to be secret number 5. Now, invest in yourself doesn't always mean spending money. Investing in yourself could be investing the time to watch these videos. Investing in yourself could be investing your energy into, making new friends or new clients or building a business or creating the brand or writing that book, right? Like whatever it is. So for me, I remember there was this moment in my life where the opportunity had arose. I was in that same place, okay, that I talked about in video number 2, where I was living in this motorhome, working a dead-end job. I was making $1,300 a month, and my bills came to $1,500. And this epiphany hit me, where this quote that said, God, I'm going to butcher it.
That's okay.
But it basically was that if you want change, that you have to be the change, right?
Yes, totally.
And so I got hit with this. Oh no, here it was pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. That's what it was, right? And it was just like this poof. Pain is inevitable, but suffering was optional. So I was suffering, right?
Yeah.
And I was in pain, and I had experienced a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But suffering being optional, which meant that in that moment, in this moment, is that you could make a different choice. That was a revelation for me.
Totally. I've never actually even heard that. So I'm having the revelation as you're speaking. And
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of our listeners and viewers are too.
Yeah. So pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. And that realization all of a sudden snapped me out of victim, which I was totally accustomed to, and put me into the seat of personal power. And if you know Rebels for Joy, right, is aligning your purpose, passion, and power, right? We want to realign that power and to remind you that you get that choice. You get that choice. And so I had to utilize a lot of these other ones because the opportunity came up for me to hire my first coach. Now, this was a big one, right? It was $400. I was already a few $100s a month in the negative. So
Yeah.
adding another $400 was just a no-go.
Yeah.
My mind immediately spun out into all the lack, right? I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough resources. I can't do this. I'm not worthy of this. I can't,
Yeah.
backpedal,
That whole
backpedal, backpedal.
dance.
And so I used these 4 secrets we've already talked about to apply this 5th one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew that suffering was optional, but I didn't know how to get out of suffering myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth, right? I knew it was optional. Now I knew I had a choice, but I didn't know what steps to take to make this other choice, right? How do I become happy, joyous, live an abundant life, have a successful business? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I knew that other people did because I saw them.
Yeah.
So I had to shift that attention. So using some of those other skills we taught you and to focusing on gratitude, looking at not what was missing, but what I could do to pay it forward, right? What services could I do? What could I bring forward? And sure enough, I found a way where I started, people asking me to dog sit. People were asking me to do their housekeeping. And I started generating not even just enough to pay this coach, but to pay the coach and get myself even every single month.
Yay!
And so that, yeah, right. And that's what catapulted me on this journey that allowed me to ultimately radically transform my life. And so this is a big secret here, right? And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily be pay somebody, right? That could be a big part of it. Maybe you don't know the how like me. Like I didn't know how the how, so I had to hire someone to teach me.
Yeah.
But for you, maybe it is like investing in you and just taking some mental space to give yourself an hour a day to go to the gym, right? Maybe it's for you to invest in yourself, some reading time, some decompression time, right? Maybe it's invest in yourself to take a bubble bath, right? To break up with that person, to know your worth. I don't know what it is for you, girl, but I know that there's something out there that's saying that we need to stop like pleasing other people, stop neglecting ourselves, and make sure that our needs, wants, and desires matter because they do. And the more that you ignore them, the more all that's going to do is it's going to keep perpetuating this lack of joy in your life. And that is not the life you deserve or want. So tip number 5, invest in yourself. And you can start by investing your time in the Triple Your Joy Challenge. Mic drop.
I see what you did there. No, that was so good. And the whole time I have just, when we hear story, we put ourselves in that place with our own little versions of things. And I remember having an experience once. I went to this amazing photo shoot. I invested in myself. I went to this place. And with the package that I got a photo shoot. And I was walking down the hall away from the photo shoot thinking, I can't imagine my life without that experience. Beforehand, I was like, I can't imagine going here. Oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for that? How is this going to happen? Caught up in the house, like you said, Bonnie. And when I figured out that the house are going to take care of themselves when I put the energy of really investing in the things that are going to help move the needle forward for me. Yeah. Once you do it, you can't imagine doing it at first, but then once you do it, you can't imagine not doing it.
Yeah.
You can't imagine
and then you raise the bar too, right? It's like, have you guys I mean, seriously, for most of us, if you really think about it, is that we have a standard of living and we're really good at keeping that standard.
Yes.
And then when we raise the bar a little bit, it might be uncomfortable because you're not here before, but then that becomes your new standard, right? And then that becomes normal and that becomes a normal income level and you figure it out and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we want to just kind of turn up the thermostat a little bit, right? Turn up the heat a little bit to make you a little uncomfortable at first, but then also then get you into this new norm of life that could be more abundant, prosperous, joyous, fill in the blank.
And it's like you and I always say, Joy is our standard. And so that's what we'll be teaching you in the 5-day free Triple Your Joy
Yeah.
challenge, right? Like this is our gift to you because we want to help you get the ball rolling on joy being your standard.
Yeah.
Right now, it may not be, and that's
Yeah.
okay. We are going to talk about the thieves that are stealing the joy, and we're going to talk
Yeah.
about the secrets to reclaiming it so that we can raise the bar and make joy your standard. So go to rebelsforjoy.com to sign up, get in on this challenge right now. Bonnie and I shared with you in the last video that when you're there live,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll get the training, but you'll also have the opportunity to interact back and forth with us. Tell us your story. Allow for us to work with you through it. And there's just nothing more powerful than that.
No, nothing. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we adore you.
Yeah, we
Stay
do.
tuned. We've got other videos that'll be coming out, other services we're going to continue to provide for you. But we look forward to seeing you pretty soon on our Triple Your Joy Challenge. Remember to email, tag, like, friend, follow, fan,
Things.
however you found this video, to make sure to connect with us on social media and tell us yours, right? How did you invest in yourself and how did it change everything? So we'll look forward to hearing that, and we'll see you guys on the flip.
Bye, friend.